don't know
you don't know me.
And I might look
seem strange to you.
Walking the way
wearing
that
the clothes that I wear, hair dread up all over my head.
Dangerous too.
Come over here.
Let me
tap on your ear a second or two. I said a second or two or three is all I need to make you feel these words.
So
hold your head high, open your third eye, and recognize that your sisters and your brothers and your purpose can only succeed with your brothers and your sisters at your side. Let's start respecting one another. Let's start respecting one another. You don't know me. Know me. And know this. I am your sis.
My name is Stajabu.
I'm Dr. V.S. Chochezi.
And together we are
Straight Out Scribes.
Positive vibes with you.
And some of you don't know this, but we're a mother-daughter duo. She's the mother.
And this is our 25th year. This is our 26th year. We celebrate our 25th year of doing poetry and publishing poetry in Sacramento as a team, a mother-daughter team. We've been having a lot of fun. And I'm not going to keep you. She's going to take it away. We're going to do a couple poems and we're going to be out. Sister Nubia can come back and continue sharing her amazing knowledge with us.
Yes. So thank you, AABH, for inviting us. Thank you, Sister Nubia, for coming. And for all of you for attending. And I know some of you think this is the only poem I know because it's the one you always hear, but this is what I've been asked to share. Wear it well, no matter who you are or what you do. If it's positive, wear it well. I wear my blackness like a badge. And I'm not mad. Even though somebody spent a lot of time, energy, and money to keep me loving others and hating myself. Tried to keep my history buried deep, but now I know enough to wear my blackness like an honor badge. And I wear nappy like a crown. And it doesn't require you to frown. Yeah, I took nappy in and made it my friend. Some would have me think nappy a bad, bitter, twisted, nasty word, but nappy I will be, because nappy gives me a nice piece of free. And ain't nobody taking my nappy from me. I wear nappy like a crown. And I wear gap teeth with a smile. Smile wide for the world to see. Just because somebody defines beauty as straight, you want me to go pay big money for braces, but I'm not straightening my hair, my nose, or my teeth, because my teeth talk and chew just fine. And they are the way that my ancestors were designed to pass them on down to me. Yeah, I wear gap teeth with a smile. And I don't expect that to make you happy, but I'll be me naturally with a nice piece of free, happily. So, if you don't like what you see, please don't go feeling sorry for me. I am a true, black, nappy, gap-tooth queen.
Dr. V.S. Chochezi. Simply because you're here, know what it's like to have an amazing daughter or an amazing child in your family. And I've been blessed. Give thanks and praises to the Most High creative energy in the universe with an amazing child. So I'm very proud of her. indigo maroon eggplant black, midnight ebony mahogany black, sepia rusty dusty black, take our land back. Brown, tan, chestnut black, red bone Creole, brown skin black, Indian, African, Chicano black, take our land back. Orabelle, Norabelle, Sweetie Belle black, Chayo, Coffee, Stotty black, Jenny, Prairie, Baby Girl black. What? Take our land back. Be aware, give her care, help black. Overstand, lend a hand, respect black. Love to be black, you and me black. Take our land back. Yes. Yes. A black woman poet is a catalyst.
My mind is opening up to the
She
universe.
is a warriorette.
And I'm having trouble staying grounded,
shrine.
speaking English with my
A black woman poet can word up like nobody else, and
or
you
write.
know I'm right.
Just want to say with my mind and feel with my soul.
A black woman poet can
I don't need
spin a
to
yarn
fly.
that will take
My
you
mind
someplace
can
you've
soar
never
at
been
warp speeds to
and never would
dimensions
go
new,
if she hadn't been there before and decided to tell you a thing or two about it.
My mind is opening up to the universe.
You don't want to mess with no black woman poet.
I told you about the Queen and honoring the Queen, and you to us and to me is like a goddess. And you give birth and you continue to do it, and we just, I'm about to cry. We are so honored to be in your presence. And I would like to ask the sisters if you can kneel, stand up and then kneel. We're going to give up and salute the Queen. We'll bring it in. If you can't get on the floor and you want to clap or do it right here, we're going to do it. So wherever you feel comfortable, we're going to give thanks. Everybody on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All those unborn babies that did not come through. Because a lot of us know. A lot of us had to make choices. A lot of us couldn't bring them forth for whatever reason. And now we know that maybe they wasn't coming through us, but they came through another system. And so that's why we honor sisters like that, because we couldn't always carry them through. And you can't feel bad about it. You can't feel guilty about it. You got to give thanks and know that they have found the womb that they are supposed to be in. To come to me. If somebody had not, you know they come out. So, woo, I give thanks. And so, I was sitting here and I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, what the ancestors wanted me to talk about. And of course the thing I came up with was building strong relationships with our male counterparts. And even though they're not in the house, we represent them when we sit here. We represent our sons, our fathers, our uncles, our husbands, and those sons that are yet to be born. And so I was thinking today about, I remember I used to do work, I used to be in this group like it was called African Roots of Jazz. And we used to do this thing called edutainment, where we went into open public schools and we traced the social evolution of jazz music through dance, through storytelling, through poetry, and it was really amazing. But we also had opportunities to go to detention centers, where I remember we went to this detention center. It was in a place called La Honda, California. And it's one of those last chance places. Like if these little brothers don't get it together, they go into the pen. They're getting sent up. And I remember driving up here because as you go up there, it's really beautiful. You start to hills, it's a lot of nature, it's so beautiful. And I said, well, I gotta write a poem, I gotta do a poem that I've never done before. I gotta write this poem for these boys. And I wrote this poem. And I'm gonna do the poem, and then we're gonna talk about where I see black male-female relationships and the possibility of them. And how we gotta start using our relationships for more than just saying, I love you. We got to show it, and we got to produce something from it. More than even those babies, because they're watching. So here's the poem. And I always say it, I won't remember the whole thing, but I'm sure I will. My beautiful black brothers, I know the baby mama can sometimes cause much drama, but if you harm her, you harm yourself. She has your child, so nothing else should really matter. Now, if your queen's voice grows louder and louder, just give it up to the Lord. And I know there is a cause for all this madness, but when you change your sons and daughters' diapers, there is gladness for your precious seed. With my words, please take heed and listen to me. I know we have to raise our families, but my brothers and sisters, we can't do it alone. Forget the moans and groans and lowering your ears. I know raising children can make you real scared, especially if your own mother and father wasn't there. But brothers, please don't be misled. It's a plan from the higher ups to keep you off your job. Now, if your baby is hungry and then you rob, now what will that solve? You'll end up in the pen on a trumped up charge, and now you're driving stolen cars and hanging out in sleazy bars. What I see so far is a society that may be hard on the brother, but it's still your responsibility to become a lover of your sacred seed. And it's not just all about me, but you too. Now baby makes three. Y'all know what I mean? We need you, black brothers. You must stay free. And I wrote that on the way out. That things that I saw. I worked in San Quentin prison. I taught poetry to the brothers. I was scared as heck to go up in there, y'all. When that door closed behind you, clang, clang, you was like, oh, what did I get myself into? It was something that I saw. I kept thinking, like, growing up in the East Coast, you see more black people, because there's more black people. And you see a lot of more hues. Because so many people are from the islands or from Africa, you see more people that are jet black and beautiful. And I came to California, I kept thinking, where are the brothers? We like the jet black brothers. They in San Quentin. They are locked up, and I'm talking about y'all, I mean, excuse the expression, I'm talking about mandingo. I'm talking about stuff that you see in movies. I'm talking about the brothers that was definitely the ones that were considered, we would consider the bucks. You ain't never seen it. It's so the most amazing black, big chocolate. You know they had to kill these ones before they grew. You don't see this on the street because that is a threat to the society.
Or they're homeless.
Wait, go ahead, sister. Another thing. Thank you, because she's right. I said to my man, I said, don't nobody notice that most of the homeless men are dark-skinned?
Yes.
I say it to him all the time. You don't see it, and when you go, matter of fact, light-skinned, and I know him. I actually know him. We went to school together. So I knew why he was out there. I was like, he didn't want to do nothing. He just didn't want to do right. But when you see it, your mind goes, this is really a deliberate thing. We can't, if we don't have them to produce the babies, to be strong men to their children, to be strong men to their sons, what do we have? And I really thought about the idea of raising children. And how brothers be like, oh, but the sister, oh, she's getting on, oh. And that's not an excuse. That's a setup that you're not supposed to get along. That she's not supposed to understand you, you're not supposed to understand her. And I was really thinking about it today. I said, we have to, as women, as powerful, but especially us, because we do know, we are conscious, we are powerful, we are black. So a lot of men don't know how to handle it. But guess what? Worse than them not knowing how to handle it is us not knowing how to handle them not handle it. And let me tell you what I mean by that. We have to look at relationships a lot different than we did before. Especially, I'm telling you, Southern black women, I know you're used to a whole nother kind of man. Because your daddy, I said, my daddy worked too, and he worked in the field, and he wasn't home. My mama didn't do nothing. All she had to do was take care of the kids, and my daddy did this, and he plowed, and he toiled, and he did everything. And now you get a man today, he don't even know what the problem toiling, he don't think he don't land, he don't know that. But I realized something, that we gotta look at the relationship a little bit differently, and I'm just gonna tell you why. Some of us are like these alpha males. There's very powerful black women. Like, I realized that in my relationship, I used to always be like, well, what will he think about it? Won't he make the decisions? Won't he figure out where we're going tonight? Well, I got to think of everything. Well, that's going to be my idea. And some brother, I remember being in North Carolina just over the summer. And it was the sister I stayed with. Her man was from Africa. He's from Zimbabwe. His name was Shingai. And very quiet. She's tough. She's an Aries woman. Bad sister. She was running stuff. It was clear. And he had no problem with it. He was a scientist. He went out to work every day. I could tell he loved it. It was cool. She'd do it. I don't have to do it. You know, and he said to me, he said, can I ask you something? He said, are you having problems with your man? I was like, well, I guess. I wasn't really sure that, but sure. We here. He said, you know why? Because you want him to be something that you already are. Won't you just accept him for what he is? Does he support you? Does he watch? He took care of my daughter. Look, I needed him when he came in my life. It started getting high level when she went to high school. I don't know about no science. I don't know that stuff. There was stuff that he brought into my life, even raising my daughter, that I couldn't give her. So but he said, think about it this way. If you had no man, you would still do all of that anyway. Because that's who you are. You came in that way. You like to make decisions. Look at me, I'm in the front. I love it. It's what I do. And when he made me realize that I was that way forever. I mean, I remember the Harriet Tubman story. Homie had to go. He wasn't strong as her. Let's saw it. You saw it? Mr. Tubman was not as strong as Harriet. Matter of fact, he took her money, if you remember. He had to go. She had no problem with it. It wasn't that he wasn't that strong. In that case, he wasn't. But there's some cases where, what is strength? Is strength always that he has to be like your daddy? He got to do everything your daddy did in the generation that your daddy was living in? Maybe what he does is he gives you so much more than you need exactly what he gives you. You can't have two of me in the family. Just think about that. Wouldn't it be cool? We'd be knocking back. We gotta jump in front. I'm gonna be in front. I can just see how this would not really work. It wouldn't work. And then I remember, so I was sharing the story with sister. I mean, that's why we married now. Because of that day, because of that North Carolina trip. Because of going outside and listening to somebody else. Because one thing about being so metaphysical, so spiritual, so inner, you only hear you. You will always be on your side. You're like, girl. You know your phone. You'll always be on your side. But when you get out there and somebody that loves and cares about you, and quiet as this brother was, he was just like, you know, Sister Nubia. I mean, he was just so beautiful. He had that beautiful accent. You can listen to anything he wanted to say. I was like, tell me more. Let me hear this. Let me hear this. It was so true. house. I'm not sure. Well, she got a husband. But when I met him, I understood, right? He wasn't going to be running now. He wasn't going to be very masculine, but he's just trying to take over. He actually had a beautiful, wonderful spirit. And then when she met him, she said, he's not like the rest of them men. He's not nothing that I thought. He has a lot of wonderful feminine energy. I mean that in a masculine way.
Right.
Yeah.
It means that they don't have a problem with you doing what you do. My man is bringing the product. Okay, cars is kept. He make all the products, y'all. I don't make them anymore. And he make them better than I do.
All right.
And I tell you the truth. He's very loving and kind and this, but I wanted him to do what I thought, no, you make decisions, you do this, you do. How silly. About to give up a good man because he didn't do what I thought but how was he? I do everything. I do it because I want, I like it, it's done. I'm from Brooklyn, got to fast, get it done, come on there. I remember when we first met, I remember when we first met, I call it being on raw foods, right? I remember we was in Whole Foods one day, and I'm looking around, I thought he was walking with me, he said, I tried to catch him, but you was, I was going, I had to slow down a little bit just to get with the brother, because I realized that he didn't need to be that fast. That's what I do. And I'm little too, like I tell you, so you can get in place, get nobody, get out. It's amazing. And I realized that I told the sisters that. When I was at the thing, I said, hey, y'all, it was the next day. I had the meet up with the sisters in North Carolina. This is the night before I talked to her husband, Shingai. This is the next day. And I loved it because I said, yeah, you know, I was talking to Brother Shingai. He was talking about roles and how he said, Zimbabwe people from Zimbabwe are very spiritual people. He's from the Shona people, as a matter of fact. And they really believe in the ancestors. They believe that the ancestors take care of it. I don't worry about that. The ancestors have it. He says that for everything. But it's so, when he says it, you know it's true. It's like they do. So they understood. He said there's women in the village like you, and they're called this kind of woman, and everybody respects it. I know, I did a description. Like, you cool, like, there's a place for you in the village, you know? I'm straight, it's cool. And so when you start realizing that who you are, and I told the sisters, now one sister had a brother that was there, and she had a baby, just had a baby. So there was things, you know, when you just have a baby and you're trying to participate in a female group, but you got to breastfeed, or the baby's kind of climbing on you. No, he came just to make sure that he had the baby, so that she could join the activities and be free. So when I told her my story, she said, yeah, you know, I was just about to say, which mean this man gonna make it? You know, because she's the one that goes out and does the thing and do the da-da-da-da. And she realized then that he was the perfect husband. And it was two other sisters that realized that who they were. So they understood who he was. And they were okay with that. So what I want to say to you is, this, and then sister, when you were sharing that story with us about the matriarchal African societies where the man knew that she was the queen in another way, not the Eurocentric version of this idea of what we've learned, but that she is of the family that comes with the knowledge. He knew what he was marrying into. It was an honor to be her husband. So he understood, and she understood. We don't understand. We're looking for this version, this movie, this book, this idea, this thing that doesn't work. And sometimes we're letting good men go because we don't know. It was another thing too is the family. You know, family has to be more included in our decisions when we are dating. That's why I understand the little girl, Crystal, who's so hurt right now that her parents don't want to do it the African way where she brings the brother home. I remember when I brought him home, and he walked in the door. My sister in New York people, oh, y'all, they so sharp. This is amazing. I forgot. I know I was born and raised in New York, but I ain't as sharp as they are. I lost it. I be getting California, getting lost. Oh, that California, I just don't have it like she do. He walked in, she called me in the back room and said, so what's the problem? Right. What's the problem? And I was like, well, actually, I felt stupid. I didn't have nothing to say. I was like, well, I don't know. I guess there is no problem. We like him. Marry him. He's good. So it's sometimes that isolation, like we have to be able to commune with spirit, And we also have to be able to listen. We also have to be able to create those communities for ourselves. So remember that great advice your mama gave you? Don't take advice from a woman that ain't got no man. Yeah, it's true. Because that's all I was thinking about. I'm wondering why I'm in my situation. Like, she ain't got no man, what you telling me? And I'm like, girl, yeah, because they seem real smart. You seem real smart when you don't have nobody. Right? So information.
They don't work. They don't got to do the work. You don't got to do the work.
Girl, you ain't got to do the work.
It's work. The work together.
That's true. Sister God said, because you don't have to do the work, so your stuff is clean. And it's on paper now. You're reading stuff now. You know, I read and I heard. And then you realize to be in it, that commitment is deep. When you decide to say I do, you better know what you're saying. Because it's no longer Nubia I gotta change my name. It is, I saw already, it's Nubia Goodson. Goodson! He loved me. It ain't no I, it's got to be we. Yeah. But one thing that I remember when we got together, and this is what I want to encourage you, if you are dating or would like to be married or in a relationship or would like to have a better one, although I'm new at this relationship, I ain't new at relationships, okay? This is what I'm seeing. I remember when we first met, we would always talk about the big picture. We talked about what we wanted to see with our people. And our idea was, oh, we could see this black town, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, you know, Black Wall Street. And we didn't know how it would manifest. We didn't know, and we haven't had one down to, we can open up this eatery where they have vegan raw foods, and then we can have nights where we have poetry, nights where we have a center for the kids to come in and learn, you know, after school programs. We had all these ideas. Then we thought, well, maybe it would be a town. Then we thought, maybe it'd be virtual. Maybe it won't be a brick and mortar. But we never stopped having this conversation about where we saw our people. Your relationship has to be bigger than you. That's what's going to keep it together. Because when it get individual, you ain't going to make it. Because there ain't nobody else to hold it up. There's no real version, no vision. When you have that connection of a vision, it turns your man on and it turns you on too. Because you're more now than just physical. You're thinking of the future. You know, we talk about building a legacy. We talked about it from the day we met, y'all. I mean, even we could break up, we have arguments. We was never in disagreement with the way we saw our people evolve. Wow. Never. Because it was real to us. We didn't know how. We couldn't figure it out, but we knew we didn't have to. All we had to do was just have the vision. And we had the vision, it was going to work. So I remember this idea. So I want to talk about building wealth with your partner. And how important that is for the next generation. It's not just I got my husband, I got the ring. We don't even have rings. We figure we save the money and put it towards some more land. That's what we're trying to do. That's $3,000, $4,000. We can look at that like $3,000, $4,000. We be adding up, y'all. We work the money. We work the money. Wherever it come in, we figure out how to use it and use it together. And where's the best place? You know, when you get in your 50s, you got to think about life in a whole different way. And we have children. So he has grown children. My daughter's 19, so we both have grown children. And so I want you to think about, when you think about falling in love, when you think about having that next relationship, don't think about so much about what he's going to give you and what you're going to give him. When you've grown, you know what you need. You know what you want. You know when you met the right person. You know when you're on the same page. Think about what the union can give to the world, what the union can give to the community. And really start saying that, baby, are you interested in buying land? Now it's interesting. We didn't go out thinking, I know we wanted land, but we never said that. We wanted this black town, but I guess it would have to be land. And then we start talking about, well, we want a black town. Where are the black people? Black people on the East Coast, mostly on the East Coast, mostly in the South. Where's their land mostly available? Where's it more affordable? Mostly on the East Coast. He's from the East Coast. He's from Jersey. Jersey and Delaware, and I'm from Brooklyn. So we wanted to go back home, wanted to be with our families a little bit. People are not, you know, people dying and not there. And so our first thing was, we thought about, you know what? So I'm going to tell you how the ancestors work if two are joined or more are joined together. Because we did purchase 18.5 acres of land in North Carolina, and we still don't know how to happen. We don't have really no idea. When I was doing a YouTube channel, some spirit told me, so this is how I want y'all, what I want to talk about in this session is how to take that thought, that idea, or that spiritual nudging that spirit gives you and tells you what to do. Now, we're talking about speaking our truth, and then turning that into something tangible. Because we don't want to have the woo, woo, woo. They do that all day in Berkeley. They don't ground, the others don't ground it in nothing that's real for us. We have to take our spirituality and use it to manifest. Yes. Do you hear me? Yes. Spirituality should bring us something, because we're dang sure. When you go on a 60-day liquid fast, or you do yoga for 21 days, whatever you do, what do you think you're doing that for? Just to look good? Just so you see it clear up? You done said to the Creator, God, Goddess, that I am willing to let this go because I need something, and I know you will give it to me, and I'll be able to hear you. So what we thought was, so this is what I thought. We just thought, I came home one day, I was fed up with California. Done with California, y'all. I said, I got to get around some people that look like me for real now. I'm done. And I kind of complain. I'm home every day. He worked for the man all day long. You know, he works as an engineer, works in the tech industry. And I told him I can't do it no more. So I remember I had a speaking engagement in Arkansas. We're talking about following the intuitive nudging. We don't know where we're going, but Spirit said, go here. Spirit said, you're going to, somebody wants you to speak in Arkansas. Then when I got there, they didn't have the money. They almost didn't have a room for me to stay. But it was the best trip that I ever taken. We worked it out. Everything worked out. But I'll tell you what it was. When I got there and I got set on Arkansas, I wasn't not set on it. I just Little Rock. I was scared. It was nighttime. Got off the plane. It was a white man on that bench. I thought that maybe I should sit on the other bench. I had no. I mean, the notions we have when you don't. I've never been to the South. So I didn't know, but the people were so nice. They call Arkansas the natural state. They actually are on crystal mounds. Like Arkansas is. The South is just, my daughter said something, too bad, Mom. She was like 10 years old. Too bad, Mom, our people really suffer because the South is pretty. Like when you look at the South, it's beautiful. So I said to him, baby, I know it blew his mind because we ain't never go to the South. I said, baby, we're going to live in the South. We're moving to the South. He said, Arkansas. I said, no, maybe not Arkansas. It was in Little Rock. But we're going to move to the South. He was open, and a little scared him. He was like, I never really thought of that. Can't see myself not living in California. He did that thing that we all do. That we all do. I said men, but okay. And he was a little apprehensive because our version of the South was exactly, I really meant like, am I saved sitting out waiting for the girl to get me? I didn't know how much it changed and maybe how much it didn't. And so I said, okay. He said, I could tell he was open, but he wasn't sure. I didn't have a plan. You got to have a plan. You can't come to your man and say, we're going to move to the South. You ain't got no plan, you got no idea. And you woke up and said, it was just some out of the blue. And he said, okay, So I said, baby, you know what? I said, I want 10 acres of land. And he liked that. He said, I want 10 acres too. Where did 10 come from? I don't know. I don't know what 1 acre looked like. I never saw no acre of land. But I figured 10 was a nice round number. People kept saying half an acre is a lot. So I figured 10 was going to be a whole bunch. So I'm on the YouTube channel. And so I said to him, no, baby, I know. Just like the Trinidad thing. I know where we're going to move. North Carolina. Now, I've never been to North Carolina. But my grandmother was born in North Carolina. My grandmother's family's from Greensville, North Carolina. Never been to the South. Well, I've been to a few places, Louisiana, Atlanta, not North Carolina. And then when I went there, I didn't think I ever wanted to live in the South, so I said, okay, so North Carolina, he was feeling it. So he did the work, because he's more mental, believe it or not. I'm not all that mental, believe it or not. I'm more spiritual. I feel the feeling, and they do the thing. It's the feminine energy is you have the intuition. Spirit comes and talks to you, that's the feminine energy. the masculine go and get it done. So it was working perfectly. I said North Carolina. So he's a, he's a researcher. That's why I was so glad he came. My daughter got older because I didn't know nothing about the science. And kind of scientific. He did the research like, look, not only do we can get 10, we can get 29, we can get 30. Look at all this cheap land. And he loved it. He was in. I knew he was in. I was like, okay, Lord, we're going to go. I don't know how we're going to do it. So a sister that was in my group, Wild Woman Who Run With the Womb, tell you how good Spirit is. Because we testify, we in church tonight, okay? She not only should this not have happened, she was mad at me because I didn't handle something in the group the way she thought it was. She was an elder. She was older than me. She gave me her peace of mind, told me what I didn't do. I didn't say nothing because I grew up, you don't talk back to elders. Whatever she said was right. I said, I'm so sorry. I wish it could have been better. She was pissed at me. So, but I got on YouTube, so months passed, got on YouTube, and I said, hey, y'all, I want to buy 10 acres of land in North Carolina. I know what's going to happen. I wasn't trying to tell people I was just telling you my business, because that's what I always do, right, on YouTube. And this sister, the one who was mad at me, left the group, called me and said, because I was going to do this workshop, one workshop, I was learning how to do tech stuff. I don't even like tech stuff. Why the hell was I going to North Carolina to take some conference about some tech stuff? Because that don't even make sense. It was Spirit. Spirit got me to North Carolina. Y'all ain't see that video? I came up from that thing. They was all still downstairs. I ran up to the hotel. I was like, y'all, I ain't technical. I did a YouTube on it. Look back and act like I was cool. So I can't do it. Why am I here? I don't understand it. I don't know. I just told the sister, can you do all this for me? I'll pay you. What the hell am I here? Like, what was that about? But it was Spirit that told me to go. The sister, I loved her work. I watched her on YouTube. Her name is LaShonda Henry. If you want all your techniques done, this sister is bad. Somehow I got some money and I went to North Carolina. The sister said, I heard you come to North Carolina to take the workshop, so I want to meet you. This is the woman that's mad at me, y'all. Quit the thing. I said, okay, cool. I was open. I'm open. I mean, I figured I wasn't mad at her, so it didn't bother me. I suffered 3 days of tech stuff. I tortured myself. The last day I called them and they said, Nubia, we're downstairs. Where are you? I said, I can't do it. I need sun. There ain't no sun or windows. I can't do it. There ain't no sun. I'm a Leo. I can't do it. She said, okay, calm down. Like, I didn't go. The sister came and got me. I met her for the first time. The instant connection. The woman. She said, yeah, I do have 10 acres of land. She happened to have 10 acres of land that her husband just bought. So new that the house on it, they wasn't even fully built. They built their own home. Beautiful house, like amazing. 10 lands, red dirt, North Carolina. I was going with the flow. I'm going, Spirit be like, be quiet, Nubia, shut up. In other words, don't overthink it. I'm giving you a clue. Don't overthink it. Flow like it's normal. You got to get with Spirit now. Spirit wants you to roll like when you, the same like you in New York, you don't act like you don't know what they saying, where they going, what they talking about. Just get New York. Just flow with it. Act like you know. So I said, okay, that's good. She took me first she took me to her space, then she took me to the land, and I fell in love, and the house was almost done, and it was beautiful. They were black, they looked like me. I mean, other black people can't believe they moved out to some country from the New York, they lived up in New York State, to be in some woods, because they by themselves, y'all. Beautiful land. And then she said, I would love to have some of this, you would? Well, I'm going to introduce you to the guy that sold the land to us, who owns the whole goddamn town practically. Wow. And I said, oh, that sounds great. And I'm thinking, we ain't got no money. We ain't got no money. What we talking about? But Spirit said, be quiet. Just go with the flow. So I told her I would love my husband, my man at the time, to come down. I'll see you soon. I'll see you in August. Wind up getting held up. I went back home. End of the year, supposed to move from that neighborhood was terrible. But I guess, I don't know, I just didn't get the message. So that robbery happened, which is the blessing, like I told you. And it got me so scared, I got the message then, because I left that house and never came back, for y'all that don't know. I went to New York and I wound up staying with my sister for 3 months. I called the sister, said, oh, I'm in New York, she's in North Carolina, so less than an hour away on the plane. Got on the plane, my man was wanting to see his family. He met me out there. We saw the land. The land next to her was available, 10 acres.
Wow.
And the man sat down with us and said, hey, yeah, this is no problem. This is how much it's going to cost. We ain't have no money. I'm just trying to tell y'all this so y'all can get the picture. But we going with it. So finally he said, okay, well, $1,000 will hold it. $1,000, I got $1,000 now. I had that. I figured, well, I got the 1,000. I was like, okay. My man was like, okay. I was like, yeah, baby, okay. We're going to do this. And then he'd be shocked because he said, you're going to do that now? But do it right now. Why not right now? Oh, yeah, he always do that. We're going to do that right now. Right now, baby, right now. So we went to the bank, gave him the check. I said, baby, I think we about to buy some land. And I don't know how. Y'all, we still ain't had no money, though. We go back home. And this is when I'm talking about male-female relationship. Let me say, we never talked about we didn't have it. We didn't go home thinking we didn't have it. We figured when he called us, we just do the next thing he said to do. So the next step was, well, when can we got to survey the land, he said. When can you come back out? We said, we can come back out in December. He said, okay, how your credit look? We told him the truth. It don't really look that good. He said, all right, no problem. Come anyway. We'll run the credit. He said, okay, you need $36,000 down. We ain't had no $36,000. We had $6,000. Probably didn't have 600. I'm just trying to tell you. We ain't say that to yeah, 30,000. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this. So somehow I come up with my 16,000 something, and this man, I asked him how he come up with the 16,000. He said I don't need to know, so I left it alone. When the black man tell you he get, don't worry. As long as he ain't kill nobody, hurt nobody, sell no drugs, I don't know to this day. I left it alone. See, that's when you gotta not be so Nubia and just let it be. So what I'm telling you is, we got the money. We didn't figure out, so he thought what he could do. I was already saving money up. I don't know. Another thing, I didn't know why I was saving money. I was saving $1,000 a month. Don't tell me why. I don't understand what, but it was just so I could buy this land. And when we got down there, somehow we had to check, and we gave the man the check, and he said, great. He said, okay, well, he ran our credit, it wasn't good, but he said, that's okay, you told me it wasn't good, and guess what? I'll finance it for you, don't even worry. Finance the land, it was Jordan Copley, the man owned, I hope he ain't owned no, slaves back in the day, but they claim the land is not land that slaves ever was on, but it is called Loblolly Plantation, that's all I'm going to say. But it's a tree plantation, it's a lot that they do. And we went, and so he said to my husband, he said, I got more than 10. I got 8.5 more acreage. And it's odd, so it would really make more sense if y'all want to buy it. And I'll give you cheaper per acre if you buy the land. And he called me one day and said, so, I love it, he made an executive decision. He said, Nubia, we got 18.5 acres of land now. I was like, okay, baby, go on that, let's just do it. And we came up with that money. But I want to tell you the process. It was we never even had a discussion among ourselves that we did not have it. Or we could not do it. It was spirit. We didn't know how we did this. There was nothing to make sense about it. Even the way we moved with it. We just did it. And we wound up buying the land, 18.5, we got to pay on it every month, but it's not that expensive. And now we're going for income property in Oakland, California, and some say it can't be done because, gentrification, but we're going to do it. We're going to do a program called NACA. If anybody is interested, it's N-A-C-A, if you want to write it down. And it's an organization. It's in I noticed that it's in every state. Don't care about none of it. All they want you to do is when something comes on your credit report, they just want you to write an explanation letter of why that thing happened. I kid you not. Now there's a process. We're going through it now. But I know other people that did it and did it very successfully. We decided that we don't want to just buy a house. That's thinking about the individual. Remember I said that? We want to buy income property. Multifamily. Right. Multifamily, a fourplex. Where we don't have to pay, now we're not going to pay that mortgage. They're going to pay the mortgage. And the apartment that we occupy, they're paying for that as well, the tenants. This is when I say thinking big. I tell you because we got to stop as black people learning about something and don't share with other black people. That don't make sense. It's absolutely ridiculous. That sister, look, I love Southern hospitality. We wanted to buy a house. The man came to us. Let me come on down. Let me have some. She made him some sweet tea. He was just comfortable. You signing the deal at the lack of a better word, and the sell probably perfect, a picnic table. It was amazing. So there's a process, Tanaka. They're going to make you like have your budget, but they're going to help you along the way. We just keep showing up at the next meeting, y'all. Whatever they tell us to bring, we just continue to bring. So you have to not just be spiritual. No more spiritual broke black people. We can't do it anymore. We got to start getting married. People will love them on you to be like, you all about the money, but why are you not all about the money? You know, and it's not all about the money. You eat, right? I mean, you got to send your kids to school. You ain't going to be here forever. Why wouldn't you want to leave? It's a disrespect to your ancestors. Why are you going to leave your children in poverty? Right. That's wrong. Nobody can tell me differently. You giving a service, why shouldn't you be paid for the service that you give? That's ridiculous. You ain't going to tell that. No other person that you do business with on a daily basis, buy your food from, buy your clothes from, your shoes. You ain't going to tell the PG&E people, you know what? You should just give me the PG&E for free. When your butt's sitting outside in the cold, you're going to figure out it don't work like that. You got to understand that what you have is valuable. You can make money doing what you love to do because you are providing a service to your community. When you do that, the ancestors say ashe, and they give you more opportunities to provide for yourself and your family. That's your job, is to provide for the future. Black people never used to think about themselves. Even the enslaved Africans, when they sang them songs, it wasn't for them. It was for the next generation to come. What did Dr. Martin Luther King say? I ain't going to get there with you. But I've been to the mountaintop and I've seen the coming of the Lord. I know it's going to happen. He didn't care. He said, I want longevity just like you. I want to live a long life just like you. But I ain't. But did that stop him? It's better to die with dignity, knowing that your family is taken care of. So we don't do for, me and my man, we but the family. I'd be like, babies for our kids. He'd be like, no, it's for us too now. It's for us too now. We're going to enjoy it too because that's the other part. You do it for the coming that's coming behind you, but you also do it for yourself. You could have, we want the 40 acres, y'all, and we want the mule too. That mule may do nothing but sit there all day. But do you understand? It's a something you just got to say. It's making the wrong right. So when you think about love, that's easy. When you think about having babies, not that hard either. At least the making of them. Think about where these babies are going to be, what they're going to inherit, how you going to show them by doing. You have to do it.
That's why I'm tearing now.
That, you know, we didn't, and we talk about that great black man, the southerner, the southern father, the southern grandfather. He couldn't read and write. So they tell you it ain't nothing to do with education. So it ain't got nothing to do with school books and school learn. All these school learn people spending the check, making 100,000, giving it back, making. But what our grandfather knew, he put penny saved, penny earned. You better save your money.
You better get some land.
You better get some land. That's when we were respected. Do you know when you think about, I talk about this brother, A.G. Gaston, one of the first black male millionaires. He has a great book called Black Titan. Black Titan. It's written by his great niece and her daughter. He knew how important it was. And let me tell you, those same racist crackers that would have hung his ass, excuse me, they did business with him and they respected him. Because look, when you come to the table with something, can't nobody look at you like you're nothing. I got leverage, honey, I got land. What? So what do you want when you think about your relationships? Even your relationship, and listen, for those that don't have a husband or a man, can you go in with your sister?
That's it.
Can you go in with your brother? Can you go in with other people? So that you can have something. It don't matter if you do nothing with the land. Just have it. That's what relationships to me is about. It's about the big picture. We started off there, and we're going to end it there. We're going to be in the land. You're all invited. We have a big old wedding in the back of the house, okay? But that's what I want. I want a wedding in the back of the house. I want to be barefoot. But some sister from, I forgot, I think she's in the UK. She said she's going to give me them barefoot sandals. You see those, they're beaded, and they're all pretty. I'm about to get those. We're going to get married in the back of the house. We're going to have drums and African and raw foods. And oh my God, it's going to be so beautiful. And it's worth the wait. I'll forego the rings. Although if you know a nice African or Afrocentric jeweler or somebody that makes, it could be wood. Somebody that's black that makes jewelry, please get in touch with me. Send me a comment on YouTube, whatever, because we would actually love to have our rings made by somebody that can do something. Are you saying yes?
I was playing with the baby, but I do know somebody.
Okay. That's good. Okay, that sounds wonderful. So I just really want to I feel like as African people who are spiritual, we have to ground our spirituality on the earth. We are earth people. We love the land. The land is so healing. All the fibroid tumors, the endometriosis, all the issues. When I went on that land, I had a knee issue. We walked the perimeter of 18.5 acres of land. I never felt my knee hurting. It was like the ground just sucked up all that energy, and I was well. This is how, I mean, even the people in the South, a lot of them eat pork and chicken. A lot of them eat their own foods that they kill, which is a bit different, y'all. They eat food from the land. The old man that sold the thing, I thought it was going to be some old white man, couldn't even walk. He said 86. He was like, I was right. We was kind of running. Catch up with the old white man. It was amazing. And he ate at he took us to some restaurant. I thought we was like desegregating the restaurant. It was a white, rednecks with rednecks, y'all. They was looking at, and when we walked in there, the woman said, how y'all doing? And she was white, a little beehive. It was serious. It was like a down-home place. And we walked in. I know my man was thinking the same thing. I was like, is Mr. Jordan being bold? He's trying to desegregate the room? Because everybody looked at us. But then we saw black folks later. They was in here. So we was cool. But it was that you never know where your blessings is coming from. It was the sister who was mad at me. Now, had I cussed her out, it probably wouldn't have went down the way it did. Luckily, somebody told me you don't cuss out elders. You just say whatever they say. I swear I do it to the day. I know my man, if somebody think I take it too far, whatever they say. I ain't cussing out no elder. I feel like you're going to have bad luck for the rest of your life. You cuss out an elder. Now, you can tell them, I don't say nothing. My grandmother said, my mother and my auntie be like, Lisa. First they'll be like, why are they calling me Lisa? They know that's not my name, but I don't say nothing. That's okay. That's what they know. It's all right. You don't have to win every battle.
Right.
You know who you are. But it was the white man that came because of the black family. It was the 10 acres. So if you have a vision, right now, I want you to take a few moments. You can close your eyes. You can leave your eyes open. And think about that thing that you want more than anything. Think about it. Write it down if you got your paper and pen out. Feel it in your soul. Because that's all you got. I mean, when I say I went to Arkansas and came back, that was a decision. We moved into the South. I have to know the rest of the way. I don't think Harriet Tubman knew either. I don't think Sojourner Truth knew either. I don't think Ida B. Wells knew either. I don't think Fannie Lou Hamer knew either. Why? We have so many examples. I know sometimes we're like, oh, there's not good role models on the media, but there's good role models in our race.
Yes.
Our race, success runs in our race. There's a wonderful book by a brother named George E. Fraser, and the title got me, Success Runs in Our Race. It's a book about black networking. But let's go back. We're going to end this with this visualization. So the baby is fine. And then we're going to write. As soon as we do visualization, that's a great idea. We'll do the Q&A.
Okay.
So as soon as we do the visualization, we got to do Q&A. Thank you, Susie. So I want everybody to get really comfortable. I'm going to get very comfortable. I'm picking my shoes. I'm getting tired. I ain't used to being outside with people, y'all. I stay in a lot. I do. I probably sometimes don't go out all day because I have a deck and I can just sit in the sun. I live a very unusual life. That's why I'm saying this black girl can do it, you can do it too. I don't have to go in public. I don't see white people all day. I tell you, it's the most amazing thing. I don't have no, I mean, it's my life. This is what my man said. He'd be like, how did you come up with the video? What made you say that subject? I'm with me all day long. That's the greatness. That's what you could do if you were with yourself. It's not special, Nubia. If you got to be with yourself all night long and you ain't bombarded with white images and this and that and you're ugly and you ain't bombarded with that. So you got, my man's house is like a museum. We got Afrocentric paintings. He's a wonderful visual artist. So I see me all day long. I create me, I deal with, I make my money off black people. I don't have white, I have black clients just like you. I only say it not to brag. I'm telling you, it's on 3 things, but let's stay focused. So, you know, little black women. And just want it, y'all. Just see yourself having it. Don't worry about the steps. Just think about the celebration. Think about the high five you giving your spouse or your children. Think about standing on that land or purchasing that income property or getting that work or starting that own business. Just see it happening. See it till you can't see it anymore. And then not only see it, get excited about it. Get happy about it because it's the feelings that get the blessings. Know without a doubt that the universe gave it to you. Once somebody told me that desire to want something. D means of and sire means God. So desire is of God. So when you desire something, it's because the Creator desires it for you. So if you are desiring something, know that it is already done. That we as queens send desire and the want and the manifestation of that desire to every single queen in here. Don't just put the love on your own vision. Put it on everybody in the room. And know that when you keep moving forward, just keep taking the next step. Don't say, I don't have it. It's okay to have moments of doubt. Just get back on and say, Nubia told us this miraculous story. I believe her. Why can't it happen for me? Because it can, and it will. And I just wanted to share that with y'all, and I really want to thank you all so much.
How about 10 minutes?
10 minutes Q&A. So Bobby, you'll give me the 10 minutes thing. So I love questions, like, because I don't, you know, I go back home. It's just me. So let's talk. So anybody, questions, ideas, thoughts, suggestions, whatever you want. Yes, ma'am.
What made you get to that awareness and awakening of wanting to solidify your relationship to the next level when you are beyond the age where you're not just starting a family, you already established a family, now you're establishing a future. So what did you create for yourself mentally to say, I'm ready to go to this next level at this point in my life?
That's such a great question, and I'm so glad you asked, and I'll tell you why. So I had this thing from the beginning that I realized that as I was raising my daughter, I said that one thing I didn't want to do, and it's just a choice. I didn't want to live with a man while I was raising my daughter. I didn't want to bring a man into the house. See, I grew up with a mother who her only way of survival, as much as she was metaphysical, she was living in such a reality to her that a man was how we ate, y'all. That's how we survived. It was the new boyfriend, the new uncle, whatever they call them, that came in to feed us. And I knew that that wasn't probably the best route. So, and I figured, you know, you got a girl child, You gotta protect your girl child. So you can't just have men in it now. I'm not perfect now, but that was a rule. But so I kept thinking, I saw myself that I would be, if I got married, it would be after my daughter graduated from high school and went to college. And so my mind was open to it. But also, sis, it was a vision. Let's start off the vision. I saw that that's what I would have liked to happen. And then the vision moved and took on a life of its own. My daughter did get accepted to the great college. I didn't have a place to stay anymore. He had a place to stay. I wound up moving with him. We wound up buying the land. You see how all these things happened? And then remember, he went home and the African brother told me I was the man anyway, so just be the man and be happy, Once I got it. So it was all these things that somebody heard me. And it just one thing led to another. And it's a blessing because you know what I realized before we go to the next question? We really can't do it alone. Like I said, if it's not a male partner, it's got to be your sister. It's got to be, I don't think as African people, and Kai, I know you speak of this all the time, I don't think as African people we can make it alone. I don't know. I don't believe that that's even an African concept. It's not even an African concept. They don't know what you're talking about. Like, why you can't pay for all my kids to go to school? It's another story. But culture too. Be like, send home money because so-and-so needs some school fees. Everybody know. You from the island or you from Africa, you got to send home money. But I'm saying it's a real thing, and I don't. So it was better for us we could have much more and faster if we were to stay together. The love was there. So the love part, you didn't have to develop it. We were together for 5 years, 5.5 years before we got married. So I feel like it was a vision and it took a life of its own. And I give thanks. And I let go. I'm going to say that too. I surrendered. I had to. When you're a black woman, you're raising your own child, you're doing your own thing, you're making your own money. I'm still learning how to be in a relationship. Talk about the finance. Be honest. I'm still learning that. Because sometimes I was thinking for him. He'd be like, we're in this together, Nubia. You can't think for me. So it's still a learning process, but that was my process. It was the vision, and then it just took a life of its own. So that's a great question. Thank you. Did anybody else have a question? All these people? Yeah. Okay, sister.
So my question is about when you, relationship today.
Yeah.
When you find the brother that is the support, who lets you be that leader at the front, and he understands metaphysics and all that, but he don't want to put it into practice. Right? He just
work and would tell him, oh, your mama spoke to me today. Or he listened. Even though he never experienced it. But he didn't come over. He wasn't doing what I do. He still don't do that part of what I do, but he do it in his own way. But let me tell you how I decided, Creator, let me know if this is the one. First of all, what I did, what the Christians do, I did it in my way. I didn't call it, but I prayed for him. I saw him with light and love. I saw him and me as partners. I said, Spirit, if he's the one, let me know. That's why today, you saw me on the YouTube, I said it's over. And then 2 days later, we back together again. Because Spirit let me know. Spirit's like, girl, bye, Felicia. Okay, bye. I don't even come back no more and say you broke up with that man. Nobody want to hear it, okay? What I realized, too, was, look, either you with him or you're not. So just stop it. So one point I had to realize, we in this. Now, how do I figure? Because it sounds like to me that you like the brother. That's why you asked me. You ain't like it, you ain't think about it. So you like him, right? I know, it's hard. Girl, I know. But when you realize that you like him and that you have a connection, I saw the light. I kept putting it on. I can't come to him head on. I can't tell him what to do and how to do it. Now he ain't know. He got masculinity, let me tell y'all. He got a whole lot of raw. He's an Aries. So he's fire. I'm fire too. I'm a Leo. And my daughter's a Sag. We burned it up and down. That fire was pow, pow. But no one's like me. They're out with the most, just like doing the most. So what I realized was, I'm not trying to emasculate the brother. I'm not trying to tell him how to be and what to believe. I'm going to be magical they call it black girl magic is what they talk about. Hashtag, I'm just trying to keep up. But I just use my black girl magic to say, I want this and I want it with him, and I visualized and I saw and I put on the light, and every time we would have a disagreement, I kept saying, what part do I play? Yeah. What is he mirroring in me that I could clean up? And I just allowed it to happen. But another thing, I realized for me, I got with good people. The women that I went to the house, they've been married for over 20 years. The other thing is, you know why a lot of us don't have great relationships or have a hard time? Because we don't really have examples. We don't really have other couples to go to. Because you can't go to your boy, they ain't doing that good with they wife. They giving you bad. You should hear black men don't be giving always the best advice to other black men. Yeah. Man, you forget her, get you a youngster, you know, something like that. I can deal with that anyway. So when I realized for me, I was missing, my mother had passed away. Had my mother been alive, she would have loved him from the moment she saw him. We would have had less problems because I know how she thinks. So the other thing is communing with the ancestors and asking them to tell you, I should have called on my mother more. She did tell me in the bathtub to stay with him, but Leo listening to herself, you know I go. And on my cancer, she's gentle and sweet. She couldn't hear. I couldn't hear her. I was clogged up. 60-day water fast on that one, sister. So it's the fasting, the praying, the visualizing, the calling on the ancestors, and the getting with people that got something good and want something good for you. And I'm telling you, it could really work. So I think that's a great question. It's a real one. So I appreciate it. Anybody else? Any other? Yes.
So
I love when a guy wants to ask questions.
You just talked about your mother.
Yes.
And her transitioning. My mom is fighting cancer right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And it's so hard for me.
I know.
How did you continue to go on?
It was hard. I remember the day that my mother was diagnosed, and she was like, I'm gonna beat this. And I said, yeah, because you know you got me. I'm about to come home and help my mama. And my mom loved food, fast food. And she was a cigarette smoker too. And I remember when we came and we was all, the whole family, we was online, we had all these recipes, and we getting home foods, and we changing her lifestyle. And you know what? This is when I had to let go. We doing everything, y'all, making the juices. My mother, we had to carry her up the stairs because I was treating her in my sister's house. At the end of that 1 week, my mother was able to walk. She looked better than she ever looked. But let me say this about choices. So I said, you know, but then I heard she was calling other people, be like, listen, y'all, get me some McDonald's. And they ain't lying. Oh, yeah, she was working people. You know how they call the other people that give you what you want? So finally I talked to her and I said, Ree, my mother very spiritual. She said, look, Nubia, I can't change that fast. She wasn't willing. She said, I can't change that fast. Give me some cheesecake from Junior's. I ain't even exaggerated. That's how the whole thing went. And she said, and let me do what I do. She said, but look, she said, I'm going to be more powerful to you on the other side than I could ever have been here. That's what she said. That broke it for me. I said, wait a second, this is her life. She get to do exactly what she want to do, and all I got to do is give her a goddamn cheesecake and make her happy. I called the family, I said, get off, give her the cheesecake, get whatever she wants. She done made a decision. Don't get me wrong, it was hard. But when she said that she could help us more, she meant it. Sometimes our earthly parents feel like because of finances and other things that they can't help us. They want to leave, let them go. I know it's hard. But you got to release them, because when you get too sad, I know, because that's a hard one. You keeping them bound to the earth because they're so concerned about you. They know you hurting and they stay around so you don't move. That's right. Get a brother a hug. Give him some love. Yes, it's okay. It's okay. That's right, please. Let it go, please. Be there for him. That ain't no joke. But I'm telling you, his mother is going to help him. Yes, Queen.
Oh, no, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to go next, kind of.
Yes.
Well, not so much, but it's a question, and also it might help somebody. I lost my mother October 14, 2014, completely unexpected. My spirituality, I mean, I consider myself always spiritual, but I never really communed with the dead,
Right.
those that had ascended. And after my mother died, my whole life changed in so many ways. It was almost like a death and a rebirth. Like when she stopped breathing, my life stopped. And it was like, okay, what are you gonna do? But she kept coming to me. And at first it was like, don't be scared. And I wasn't scared, but there was so much communication. She was just coming to me. Like she said, they are with you more. So when they pass on, and a lot of stuff I didn't understand. So here I was just spewing out stuff. You know, what's this? I didn't even know what I was saying. I started learning about our African spiritual system, you know, learning about the Orishas and Ifa and cosmology, words I never even said before.
That's right.
And so, I mean, things just went from 0 to like 1,000 in like a month span. There was so much, you know. So some people kind of came my way and they were explaining things to me about, you know, our ancestors and metaphysics and all these things to kind of help me put it at ease. But my question is, so it's been since October 2014, and I know that she's still present with me, but I don't feel or hear the communication as much. And I know some other things, you know, she was, you know, they're so earthly bound that, you know, it's hard for them to go. So I don't know if that's what I'm what it is, or maybe there's some other things that I need to do.
No, actually you already did it, and that's the best part. Remember when your mama passed and you started getting into those very African ways of dealing with death and rebirth, just like you said. So you already cleared the way. You called up somebody that knew exactly how to do it and bring her to ascension. You know something that you could do? My mother taught us this. So one thing was, as prepared as I was, my mother, when everybody said thank God or thank Jesus, our house, we said thank the ancestors. It was very hard being in school because you say that out your mouth, people start laughing. It was not cool. And a whole lot of humor, it was not. People look at you like, you almost stopped saying, don't say that. You don't know about that. And then the Christians think ancestors is like double stuff. So it was very hard, but a lot of humor. A lot of humor will get you through. But I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. When I went in that hospital room, because it got really real, and my sister, I walked in, and I saw my mother laying in with them tubes, and my dang sister, why she gonna be like, cry, cry, Nubia, come on, Nubia, cry, cry. But she wasn't taunting me. She was saying, why you fronting? That's your mother. Cry. I ain't just cry, I fell out on the floor, screaming and crying. I didn't know that was me. I couldn't believe it. My sister just meant, what you doing? That's very African of us to cry. That thing we do at the funerals, they do it in Africa too. Crying, screaming, because that's how we let go. So that part is part of the process. But once you understand that they're leaving to help you, as the sister did, you will start getting into, they leave because you would never, and sister, you would have never got into any of that had your mother not left. You got something that is so great that you are not doing because she is here. It's almost like I don't have to do it, my mama gonna do it, okay? My mama gonna do it, so I don't have to do it. You have something, and I don't know, you know, and you may not know, but when she leaves, you're gonna know. It's your time. I had to sit a year, 9 months later, or 10, 11 months later, then my grandmama died. So I knew, I said, oh, we done rose up in the ranks of the matriarchs now. I ain't the baby anymore. This is my mother. All of this is my mother. She don't die. That's the other thing. We don't die. It was this wonderful thing. I wish I could remember the woman's name. I just remember her name being Marie, too, was a poet. We don't die. She ain't dead. She's in the trees, and the leaves, and the air, and the sun. She's in you, the child to come through you, the child you may already have. She picking out the baby mama if you don't have one. The baby mama. She already picking out because they want to come back. They gonna come back. They gonna come back. But it's okay to mourn, to cry. You are African, and it's no. You gotta dance it out, sing it out, be around people that love you. But she got you. They are some. But so what happened for me? 2007. We in 2016. It's so funny that I say to myself, "Wow, well, I don't have that sad feeling no more." I don't know. Like I miss her. And I miss her so much, and I think about her like, oh, I wish she could see me doing this. Oh, I wish she could see me doing that. Then I gotta be like, she can! She can see me doing everything. She probably got the lamb, Mr. Jordan, the whole thing. I hope she ain't sent a dog with the gun, but you don't never know. I just know that my mama, that is when I stopped missing her. When I understood that she was here. Don't get me wrong, you never are the same as your mother. But you could be, just be everything that you know that they would want you to be. My mother pushes me. My mother, the things I say, the boldness, my mother was cancer, so she was very spiritual. You know, cancers are very inner, they're crabs. So she knew the right person. Nubia got the mouth. Nubia's going to say what I tell her to say. She's going to do what I tell her to do. And I mean it, humor. Remember her. Tell the stories of the things she did that made you laugh. The things we keep our ancestors alive by pouring libation, by saying, they're talking about their names. And we're not giving out, your mama's still here. But the one thing she told me to do, and you can still do it after years. My mother taught us that if somebody is about to transition, or when they transition, you're supposed to burn the white candle. Yes. Right. Yes. 7-day candle. Because they have to rise. You have to let them go. So you burn that candle. So my mother was giving instructions. She's a bad sister. So I'm going, she told my daughter, she said, you got to fly to come to see me because, she's in New York and we were in Cali. She said, you ain't got to do that no more. Mama could be right there with you. Grandma could just come and be there. So she told us, okay, y'all, so make sure you burn the white candle. Make sure you get the pictures off. She told us how to create her own altar. She already told us. So we was, nobody wanted to hear it, but we knew our butts did it. We sure did. It doesn't get easier, it gets better. Because you're getting better, she's getting better. Every time you make it, every time you succeed, you push her up. So they're so far away now. They like when you see them, when my mother comes to me, she's not sick anymore. She's not in the tubes and the whole bit. She's well. She's always in white. She got her size the way she used to be, not the sick cancer. You know how that looks. So you're going to be okay. But it's okay to cry. It's okay to let it go. Especially for a brother because y'all got to do that. And we love you. Don't we love this brother? I'm sure, Barbara, we got to go.
Yeah, and then you got to talk about your products.
Okay, I'm going to do that quick. So,
okay.
Could you just tell me, what is your YouTube channel?
Oh, yeah. So, you know what, y'all? Everybody can come get one of these, and it has my website and information, which also has my YouTube channel. Because if I say it's Nubia Sutton 1, you ain't going to get that. Yeah. But if you take one of these and you go to the website, this is for y'all, so please come and take it. Also, Bobby, you can get in touch with her. I'm sure she can make sure you get more information.
Yes.
And so, because I would love, if you don't watch the channel, I would love it.
Actually, I just type in Nubia Sutton.
Yeah, it comes up.
Thank you.
It still comes up Nubia Sutton.
Nubia Sutton.
Yes.
Nubia Sutton, S-U-T-T-O-N.
Okay.
And girl, I got hundreds. Yeah. You will not miss them. Okay, so we're going to talk about the products?
Yeah, we're going to talk about your products.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody so much. And so Warren, come here, baby. So, this brother has such beautiful energy, and he makes the products. I gave him the recipe, and he has perfected them. I don't use anything but the products that he makes or we make. And I'm very proud of him. I love him. I was going to give up the products. I couldn't do everything that I was doing. He said, I don't know why. It's a great idea. Actually, he got me started. He got me started. I was broke and had no money. And I was doing YouTubes, though. And people kept calling me, like, oh, your skin is so beautiful. Oh, my God. What do you do? What do you use? I was like, I make my own product. What do I use? He was like, well, you should make for everybody else. And he looked, I was like, oh, this is so cute. He's like, cute? These people saying? Make the products. We're talking about you. And I fought it for years. And he said, and so I made it and I stopped it, and he said, I'll keep doing it for you. So I'll see what a partner can do. So Warren, I'm not sure. They just want to know a little bit about the products and what's in it. Or you can talk about it a bit. And I'm going to
Well, we have just shea butter and African black soap today. Of course, the shea butter is all natural, organic from Ghana, from a supplier that we both know.
know and love.
It's all natural ingredients in other oils, castor oil, olive oil, vitamin E. I might be missing some ingredients, but they're on the side. Coconut oil as well, and a fragrance or an essential oil. I do have a plain as well. The soap is just African black soap with distilled water, with the same fragrances or essential oils included in them.
And they're highly lathering. For people that think that liquid soaps don't lather, they lather so well, especially the way he puts it together. And the essential oils are sourced from a reliable source. They've been in business for like 40-something years. Larsa Carnic is coming from Berkeley, California, so you will feel the high quality of them as well.
Yeah, and we both use them.
That's all we use.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested, I guess after
after we close, and they can come and see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
So I just wanted to say thank you so much. I feel so good. It's so nice to be around sisters that get it. Oh yeah, we do pictures and all that.
The board members.
Okay, that sounds perfect.
Okay, we're gonna make this real quick.